Hello, we are having tea on Christmas morning and reading
The Tao Te
Tao Te
Ching.
Ching.
And this is my corner tea bar. This is my wife. And she's going to read a little bit. We're on chapter 41. We're drinking a 2003 puerh mini cakes that I got from, what is the name? Five Leaves Tea in Berkeley. Comes in this little, thing, kind of like a coin. It has that in there that says 2003. I don't know if you can see it. And it has that on the other side.
Okay, so we've looked at 5 different translations of this and finally feel like we sort of understand it a little bit better, but at first was very confused. So I'm going to read the first translation that made the least sense to me. Okay, here it goes. Number 41. When the best students hear the way, they diligently put it into practice. When the mediocre students hear the way, it seems to be there, seems to disappear. When the worst students hear the way, they laugh at it a lot. If they didn't laugh, it wouldn't be worth considering the way. Therefore, among established maxims are these. The way of enlightenment seems obscure. The way of equality seems ordinary. The way of progress seems backward. Higher virtue is like a valley. Great purity seems ignominous, which I had to look up. Extensive virtue seems insufficient. Constructive virtue seems furtive. Genuineness seems changeable. Sorry. Great rectitude has no stiffness. Great vessels are completed late. Big news is rarely voiced. The greatest phenomenon has no form. The way is hidden, nameless, but only the way ably gives and perfects.
So ignominous was what?
I think I had to look up.
You remember what it was?
Shame, like something.
Oh, that you're kind of like hiding it.
You should be ashamed of.
Hiding it from people. Seems like you're hiding it. And constructive is what?
Furtive.
Which was a similar thing, like that you would not show fruit. Something like that. Yeah.
Go ahead and talk about the tea. I'll look it up again.
Yeah. So we're using a clay pot, my favorite clay pot, out of all of them. Why is it favorite? Because the lid fits perfectly, and it's the first one I bought. And then after that, I've not felt any other one have a seal that tight. I am using clay because it holds the heat for longer. So with heicha or shou, that's desirable. It was only 1 coin and 200 ml, so that's why it's kind of light.
So ignominous means deserving or causing public disgrace or shame. So deserving or causing public disgrace or shame, ignominous. And then furtive means attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. Secretive.
Yeah, that's how I feel about any philosophy learning that that basically has nothing to do with Catholicism amongst the Catholics. Like it's heresy, whatever. It is not the Bible. Not all the Catholics, but some Catholics.
So it says great purity seems ignominous.
Great purity seems like something that you'll be shamed for.
Publicly should be
Publicly.
disgraced or feel shame for. Great purity seems like something you should feel publicly disgraced or shamed for. Okay. Constructive virtue seems furtive.
Like I feel like a teenager falling in love with someone and then like everyone being upheld and horrified, scandalous because of love. Something like that. But the main point of why we're reading this is because of the three scholars in the beginning. That's what we should focus on. So the first three scholars have what? Can you read them again?
So the best students hear the way and they diligently put it into practice. The mediocre students hear the way and it seems to be there and then seems to disappear. When the worst students hear the way, they laugh at it a lot. If they didn't laugh, it wouldn't be worth considering the way.
All right. So it says in the last line, if you weren't laughing, right?
If they didn't laugh, it wouldn't be worth considering the way.
And then you have a bunch of clues or examples of if it looks like this, it is like that. If it looks like this, it is like that, right? All of the examples are basically like
the way of enlightenment seems obscure.
Yeah. So my point, what we're trying to come as a conclusion of what we're reading is that you would be confused to think that the
best student
is the way.
And the best student diligently puts it into practice. So we think
that's rigid.
Yeah.
Or is it flowing? Is it rigid or flowing?
Right. Is it purity? Is it genuine? Is it?
So the point is that it's saying that if it wasn't laughed at, it wouldn't be worth considering the way.
Yeah.
And you would think, if you didn't really get the point, that the best student that diligently puts it in practice is what you want to consider. Oh, that's what it should be.
The Tao, yeah.
But it's not. It is actually the one that looks like it's not. Yeah, looks like the worst student, and that is laughing at it. And that is because if it wasn't laughing at it, it wouldn't be worth it out. So it really is kind of like a riddle, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
So you came up with that conclusion after
that. Upon first reading, you think, "Oh, I want to be the best student," and that is the way of the Tao. But after chewing on it a lot and being confused about it, it's like the worst student that laughs at it a lot is what makes it worth considering the way. And at the end, it says, the way is hidden, nameless, but only the way ably gives and perfects.
Yeah, so the point is that a more flowing, relaxed,
not the best student, the worst student, in fact.
The one that looks to you as the worst students. Or like they could be seen as the worst student. It's actually the one that
gets it,
yeah. Because he's relaxed about it and all that. The one that is all rigid and stiff
takes it seriously.
That's not the way. Taking it too seriously is not the way, for sure.
So I wanted to read all the first words: the way of enlightenment, the way of equality, the way of progress, higher virtue, great purity, extensive virtue, constructive virtue, genuineness, great restitude. Like,
we're saying that all of those will look like the opposite.
Will look like the opposite with the worst student who's laughing at everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that suddenly made it all make sense.
But if you notice that there's no evil in any of those things, it's just stuff that could be judged like that. from a third person perspective, for someone who like claims to have the higher moral ground, but it's not really any of those things are evil, like hurting anyone. It's just that if you were going to look down upon others, you could say those things about them, right?
Mm-hmm. So it was a really interesting, like just not really understanding it, and then when we could suddenly flip it and realize, oh, the worst student is the one who gets the Tao.
Yeah.
Not the best student who implements it perfectly to the.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how much is there that is a riddle, and it was written in like Chinese, like a couple of thousands years ago, 2,000 years ago, whatever it is. I don't know. It says right there. I don't know. But it's a long time ago, the Tao Te Ching. And so, how much is lost in translation, right? We have 5 translations into English total today. And by the end of 5, we were like, wait, right? Wait a minute. This
Yeah, because the
is a
whole
riddle.
time I'm thinking the best student is the one who diligently puts it into practice, is the Tao, is the way of the Tao.
And that's someone who's trying.
Yeah.
It's not someone who's flowing.
Right. Someone who's trying really hard, maybe judging themselves and judging others more, being strict and stiff.
In a path of resistance more than in a path of flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that is for today, so we don't take it that far.
All right. Let's not be too good of students. Let's be the worst student.
That's all there is, right? Tao Te Ching,
Yes.
chapter 41, and some puerh. We'll see you next time.